Did we move on already? Yeah. We moved on to Obama. Now, where do we move on from here? Where do we move on from Obama?
Congress.
To a Congress that supports.
Is it the Congress that passes laws?
Do you still have the hope for the change?
I do.
You do? Yeah. It's been 3 years.
You think it's just a Congress's problem, not Obama's problem? I think the Congress is all about the conversation. But Obama could end the war with just an executive order. He doesn't need Congress to end the war. How come he didn't end the war yet? He slowed down the Iraq war, I think. The war in Afghanistan. The troops need to come home.
What kind of war did he start?
And he started another war in Libya. And now he's
Iran coming up.
I know he didn't send any troops in though. But I think the war in Afghanistan needs to be brought slowly to a close so that it doesn't fall into the same. And now he's executing U.S. citizens with drones. He's executing U.S. citizens with drones. I know, that's wrong. I think that's wrong. And he hasn't closed down Guantanamo yet. He could close that down with an executive order. And he hasn't repealed No Child Left Behind yet. Do you know that with No Child Left Behind by 2014, 100% of the schools got to have the students proficient, meaning that best schools in Santa Monica, if one student is not proficient, that school is labeled to be a failure in 2014. He could have.
Yeah, but you're talking about executive order. We just had a president who did a lot of that.
But
I think that Obama wants to do it in a more diplomatic way. And he needs a Congress that supports that.
But there's people dying.
The president can have an executive order.
But people are dying. People are dying. We've been waiting.
What happened to the rendition?
No Child Left Behind is a bad. He promised that the first thing he would do is to close down Guantanamo. How come he didn't keep that promise?
Because he can't vote for the same issues that he puts up for a vote. He has to actually.
No, that's an executive order.
The president represents only 1/3 of the government.
No. It's an executive order. He could pull troops out of Iraq.
Ways to close down. An executive order isn't a permanent solution. That's the problem.
Why do we have whistleblowers in Guantanamo?
And Congress is represented by the people. So if you want to start making changes, you should support the president and then support putting more liberal people into Congress so they can vote for the issues that he puts.
President's the one who executed a U.S. citizen 2 weeks ago.
It wasn't yes he can. It's yes we can. It takes more than one individual.
Well, we didn't execute a U.S. citizen 2 weeks ago. He's the one who executed it.
Are you talking about the terrorist?
He was a U.S. citizen.
He gave up his
we have due process in this country.
He gave up his
we have due process in this country.
When he aligned himself with terrorists that organize mass attacks on all kinds of civilized countries, not just the United States.
Well, show it. Prove it.
Attack Iran.
Prove it.
The bottom line is, I am very comfortable knowing that individual died.
I want to see it. I want to see the proof.
I have no problem with that.
How come the
due
proof?
process? Then he should have been a United States citizen in the United States. He shouldn't have left, denounced the country, and started running with terrorists.
It is just one step away from executing U.S. citizens in U.S. soil.
You can't take that leap. You're taking a leap.
It's just one more leap.
If I may, shouldn't this be about economics?
Absolutely.
We're not going to find everything and we're going to 100% agree on.
The conversation is something that's not important.
You see, you're entitled to your opinion.
So do you support the current administration?
It's about us.
I would agree. It's about the people.
Their policy of not ending the
We
war.
are the ones we've been waiting for. One man cannot do it alone.
He could end it with an executive order.
And I think if he had a Congress,
if there's an elected
he doesn't need the Congress. He could end it with an executive order. He doesn't need congressional approval to end the war.
People that he represents. That's the kind of politician I am.
if I was the president,
It's been 3 years.
if I
He
was the
represents the entire country. United States of America. He's the president of our country. He's not the president of our party.
that he's trying to make it better.
He represents the United States of America, leader of the free world.
But he could do it with a single executive order. How could you support a president that's doing that?
By the banks and the oil companies, there is still a difference. The Democrats are not perfect, but they're a damn sight better.
He hasn't closed down Guantanamo. He said the first thing he would do is close down Guantanamo.
Why are you so concerned about Guantanamo? Why you keep
Because we have people there. We have people there.
You're trying to change the conversation. You want to.
This isn't a bet about jobs.
About the jobs and the economy. So why are you here talking about that?
You should organize a rally for that issue.
Well, let's talk about jobs. Let's talk about jobs. You know the post office? They're closing down offices. Listen, can I say this here? You know the post office closing down offices. They're laying off 120,000 people because there was a 2006 law requiring them to pay
75 years of pension in 10 years. This is not a well-known law.
I know all
Okay,
about that law.
yes.
I totally disagree with that law. And
Right,
the post office is a social program
the
that
president
shouldn't have to make money.
Exactly. It's not for profit, but it's to provide a service.
No, they are profitable.
The post office
they are
needs to provide
They
a
have $1
service
billion
to the
profit.
But they shouldn't
That's what
have
you don't
to.
understand. Not every
It's a social program, just like a
business needs to turn a
They're,
profit.
if you have that law on any
education
other
system
company,
doesn't need to turn a
they'll
profit.
bankrupt
Our
every
healthcare
company.
system doesn't need to
If
turn
you
a
require
profit.
Federal Express to have that law of forcing them to pre-fund the pension,
was a
75 years of
Republican law that
pension.
was pushed
Exactly,
through.
but the Democrats did not repeal it.
Exactly.
Exactly, Democrats did not repeal it.
Exactly.
That's why I'm running for
Would you be
Congress.
satisfied with 90%? Are you the type of guy that...
I would repeal it.
Yeah.
You can pull arbitrary issues out.
Barack Obama has done nothing to try
Barack
to repeal
Obama
that
is
law.
not a dictator.
You
All
kidding
right?
me? Yo, this is one-third of the government.
We're very far to the left. Anything
sorry,
you're going
you
to
tell me
say,
to quiet down,
we
you're telling
agree
me to
with.
speak up.
And the problem is Barack Obama is not as far left as we are. That's obviously your problem with him.
Because he wouldn't be elected, honestly.
But I don't
That's
think in
right.
a general election he would have a chance. Now,
There's a lot of anger and frustration and resentment right now in our country over corporate greed and the inaction from Congress over jobs and the economy. But we have to take some of the responsibility. We as a country have allowed this to happen by electing the people we have elected over the past 30 years. Both parties are responsible. People who were supposed to have our best interests in mind have been bought by the corporations we are now protesting again. Of course we need banks. We just need to regulate them better. We can't let them regulate us. And that's what's happened. They can't regulate us. When politicians lose their backbone and let corporations tell them how to govern, we all lose.
Right. That's right.
The people have the ultimate power to impose their will by mobilizing behind a common
That's right.
cause. The progressive movement, Rebuild the Dream, MoveOn.org, Occupy Wall Street, Occupy LA, the People's Party. These movements can bring the establishment to its knees and help rebuild the American dream. Let's empower the people to stand up and constructively fight for their future, not just complain about the present. I'm running for Congress in the 33rd District, which includes Santa Monica, because we feel we need new leadership in Washington. But even more than that, we need to challenge the establishment by creating a new way of governing that represents the people's will,
That's right.
not the banks and corporations.
Running for Congress.
What's your name?
33rd District.
What's your name?
Tim Pape.
Tim Pate.